Good morning, children. Today we want to discuss a new topic from our second chapter. What is our second chapter? Sectors of the Indian economy. Okay. In last classes we discussed many more things related to this topic. Okay. Firstly, we discussed what are the three important sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. Then we discussed what are the contributions about from these three sectors, especially in case of GDP. Then what are the changes arises there is, especially in these three sectors, what are the contributions, what is the reason behind it. Then we discuss what are the changes here is. Okay, we know one thing, here is three stages. The first stage, there is included the primary sector, the importance of primary sector. Then second stage, there is the importance of the secondary sector. Finally, the third stage, there is the importance of the tertiary sector. Then at the case of GDP, the contribution of secondary sectors and tertiary sectors increased, but in case of employment opportunity, that is decreased. Now also more people depend upon agriculture sector, that is the primary sector. What is the reason behind it? Because they have no other choice. Primary sector, there is existing one problem, disguised unemployment or underemployment. We want to maintain this problem. What is the reason behind there is existing disguised unemployment or underemployment? Because that people have no other choice. Okay, the secondary and tertiary sector, they can't contribute the job opportunity for these type of people. On that occasion, we decided to one thing, how to create more employment opportunity in this sector, or how we can manage, or how we can avoid the disguised unemployment. Okay, on that occasion we understood many things, like government want to provide here is some loan facilities. Then certain area there is no irrigation facilities, government want to provide irrigation facilities. Then banking facilities, good transportation facility, storage facility, industry want to locate the remote areas. Okay, that type of many things we understood. Am I right? Did you understand everything? And finally we discussed, here is government want to solve the problem of unemployment. Here is started NREGA 2005, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. Under this act, government decided to give 100 days work, surety of 100 days work. If they failure to give 100 days work, they are ready to give unemployment allowance. Who are ready to give? Government. Okay. Then the continuation for that topic, division of sectors as organized and unorganized sectors. Okay, we want to divide the sectors, organized sector and unorganized sector. Okay, what is our next topic? Division of sectors as organized and unorganized. Division of sectors as organized and unorganized sectors. Organized and unorganized. You heard about organized and unorganized sector? Can you say something related to organized sector? Yes. Okay. We know that here is something permanent and temporary jobs. Okay. Then what is the speciality of permanent job? Government jobs here is they provide some special facilities for that people. At the same time, daily wage workers, that type of people have no special provisions. Okay, we will discuss more details through our chapter. Okay, listen your textbook. All of you look your textbook. Division of sectors as organized and unorganized. Let us examine another way of classifying activities in the economy. Then we want to discuss how can we classify the economy in another way. Okay, this looks at the way people are employed. What are their conditions of work? Are there any rules and regulations that are followed as regards their employment? Listen, here is how can we classify our economy. Here is two examples. Before discussing the examples, here is two questions arised. What is the first question? What are their conditions of work? Then, are there any rules or regulations that are followed as regard their employment? Here we want to know about the answer from these two questions. Before that, here two examples we want to discuss that. The first one in case of Kanda. Kanda works in an office. She attends her office from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. 9:30 a.m. to 5:30. 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Then she gets her salary regularly at the end of every month. At the end of every month, she gets her salary. Regularly get the salary. In addition to the salary, she also gets provident fund. Every end of the month, she gets salary. Additionally, she gets provident fund. Shortly, we can say PF. As per the rules laid down by the government. She also gets medical and other allowances. Listen. Salary, then she gets provident fund, then medical and other allowances. Okay, medical and other allowances. Then Kanda does not go to office on Sundays. She no need to go on Sundays because that day holiday. This is a paid holiday. When she joined work, she was given an appointment letter stating all the terms and conditions of work. Listen, here is she gets salary, then PF, medical allowances, and also there is some leave. Okay, that all matters included when she get appointment order. There is included this everything. Okay, this is the first example. The second one in case of Kamal. Kamal is Kanda's neighbor. Okay, nearest person. He is a daily wage laborer in a nearby grocery shop. Kanda works in an office, but here is Kamal works in a neighbor nearest place. There is one grocery shop. You know what is the grocery shop? Palacharakku kada. We say in Malayalam. He goes to the shop at 7:30 in the morning and works till 8 p.m. Listen, his working time 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Kanda's working time 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. But in case of Kamal, here is 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. Then he gets no other allowances apart from his wages. Listen, here is he gets no other allowances. What are the other allowances? That means there is no PF, there is no medical allowances. Okay. Then he is not paid for the days he does not work. But in case of Kanda, she get one leave on Sunday, but she get salary. Or what is the speciality? She also here is a paid holiday. But in case of Kamal, it is not a paid holiday. If he take any leave, what happened there? If he want to take any leave, what happened there? He didn't get a money or he didn't get a wage on that day. Then he has therefore no leave or paid holidays. There is no holidays, there is no paid leave. Nor was he given any formal letter saying that he has been employed in the shop. He can be asked to leave any time by his employer. Listen, here is he want leave, he can ask to employer. He can take in any time. But in case of Kanda, what is that? There is some formalities, but there is so many merits. Okay, then here we discussed two situation. Which situation? Job situation. What is the speciality of the first example? There is some important things. Regularly she gets salary. Then she gets salary at the end of every month, and also provident fund, medical allowances, paid holiday. Okay, these are the merits. There is included some rules and regulations. This everything included when she get the memo card or when she joined there. Okay, but in case of Kamal, here is a long hours of duty, but there is a wage. There is not salary, there is a wage. എടുക്കുന്ന ദിവസത്തിനുള്ള കൂലി. Okay, then another thing, there is no provident fund, there is no paid leave, there is no medical allowances, etc. Okay, do you see the differences in the conditions of work between Kanda and Kamal? Okay, we discussed. Kanda works in the organized sector. Okay, what is our topic? Division of sectors as organized and unorganized sectors. Our economy, we want to divide another way. Here is organized and unorganized. On the basis of here, we discussed two examples. The first example is in case of Kanda. Okay, that is included in which category? It is included in the organized sector. Which sector? Organized sector. Then Kamal included in which category? Unorganized sector. Okay, Kanda works in the organized sector. Organized sector covers those enterprises or places of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have assured work. The terms of employment are regular and therefore the people have assured work. They are registered by the government and have to follow its rules and regulations, which are given in various laws such as the Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Gratuity Act, Shops and Establishment Act, etc. Listen, here is organized speciality. It is included under the control of government. Then they are registered by the government and have to follow its rules and regulations. The organized sector that has some rules and regulations and also that is registered by the government. Okay, there is some rules and regulations included. What are the rules and regulations that is included? Underline this: Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Gratuity Act, Shops and Establishment Act. It is called organized because it has some formal process and procedures. But what is the speciality of organized sector? There is some formal processes and procedures. Okay, underline that. What is the speciality of organized sector? Say yes, it has some formal processes and procedures. Some of these people may not be employed by anyone but may work on their, but they too have to register themselves with the government and follow the rules and regulations. Some of these people may not be employed by anyone but may work on their own, but they too have to register themselves with the government and follow the rules and regulations. Somebody registered under the government and they are ready to follow the rules and regulations. That means here is government implements some rules and regulations. They want to follow the rules and regulations. That is the speciality of the organized sector. There is existing some rules and regulations. We want to obey that rules and regulations. Okay. Then workers in the organized sector enjoy security of employment. Okay, that is included the feature. What is the feature of the organized sector? Here is security of employment. Employment has some security. That means here is some surety. Okay, then that also want to underline. They are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. They are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. That means here is 9:30 to 5:30. 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's a fixed hours. That is another speciality. Listen, they are expected to work only a fixed number of hours, fixed time. Okay, fixed number of hours. That means here is a job time fixed. Then, if they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime. Their working time 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. If they are ready to take more time, that is the overtime. Okay, they get extra income for this. Okay, listen. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. That also want to underline. They also get several other benefits from the employers. Apart from this, another merits also. What are these benefits? They get paid leave, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, etc. What are the another thing? They get some paid leave. Then, what is the next one? Provident fund. Then, gratuity. These type of special things also, special benefits also. Okay, I repeat, they get paid leave, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, etc. They are supposed to get medical benefits, and under the laws, the factory manager has to ensure facilities like drinking water and a safe working environment. Here, we already discussed there is existing some rules and regulations. Employer want to follow the rules and regulations. Okay, there is included some Factory Act, Minimum Wages Act, etc. Okay, that's why here the factory manager has to ensure the facilities. What are the facilities? Drinking water facility, safe working environment. When they retire, these workers get pension as well. Listen, here is when they retire, the employer retire, on that time they get pension also. These are the speciality of organized sector. Is it clear? Now we discussed organized sector. Okay, we can classify the economy mainly to organized and unorganized sector. Firstly, we discussed what is the speciality of organized sector. What are the benefits included the organized sector? Is it clear? Okay. In contrast, Kamal works in the unorganized sector. The next person, who is that? Kamal. Okay. He works in which sector? Unorganized sector. Which sector? Unorganized sector. Kamal worked in unorganized sector. Then the unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units. What is its speciality? It's characterized or it's featured small and scattered. What do you mean by scattered? Chinnichadari avade evideyittu. Okay, scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. Listen, organized sector under the control of the government, but in case of unorganized sector, largely unorganized sector under the control of the government. That also want to underline. There are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. There also included some rules and regulations, but they are not ready to follow these rules and regulations because they never mind this. There are existing some rules and regulations, but that is not followed. Jobs here are low paid and often not regular. Jobs very low wage and also it is not regular. But in case of organized sector, what is the speciality? Yes, every end of the month they get salary. Then there is job security, paid leave, provident fund, medical allowances, gratuity, pension, etc. But in case of unorganized sector, it is not under the control of government, then very low wage, then that is not a regular work. There is existing some rules, but they are not followed, and also there is no provision for overtime, there is no paid leave, there is no holidays leave, leave due to sickness, etc. Employment is not secure. But in case of organized sector, security of employment or secure employment ആണ്. But in case of unorganized, that is not secure. Okay, that is not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. People can ask, no need any reason. They can ask leave. Okay. When there is less work, such as during some seasons, some people may be asked to leave. Certain season, there is no work, okay, very less work. On that occasion, somebody took leave. A lot also depends on the whims of the employer. Okay, that means whims of the employer means sudden thing. This sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own doing small jobs such as selling on the street or doing repair work. Similarly, farmers work on their own land and hire laborers as and when they require. Listen, here is which type of category also included. This sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own doing small jobs. They are engaged in small jobs, their works. Then what are the works? Selling on the street or doing repair work. That type of category also included in the unorganized sector. Similarly, farmers work on their own and hire laborers as and when they require. They can hire the laborers. What do you mean by hire the laborers? That also included in the unorganized sector. Okay, here we discussed two types of sectors. First is the organized sector, another is the unorganized sector. Comparing to organized sector, we know one thing, unorganized sector's condition that is very poor. Okay, then on the basis of we want to talk about something related to unorganized sector or how to protect workers in the unorganized sector. Unorganized sector, that people's job have no security, very low wage, irregular work, and also there is no gratuity, there is no paid leave, there is no provident fund, there is no medical allowances, nothing. But then how can we protect these people? Which people? Unorganized sectors. Okay, but then we moving on another topic. What is our next topic? How to protect workers in the unorganized sector. What is our next topic? How to protect workers in the unorganized sector. Okay. Okay. How to protect workers in the unorganized sectors. That is our next topic. The organized sector offers jobs that are the most sought after. But the employment opportunities in the organized sector have been expanding very slowly. The employment opportunity expanding very slowly in case of organized sector. That's why more people depend upon the unorganized sector. Then it is also common to find many organized sector enterprises in the unorganized sector. They adopt such strategies to evade taxes, that means the avoid taxes, and refuse to follow laws that protect laborers. As a result, a large number of workers are forced to enter the unorganized sector jobs, which pay a very low salary. They are often exploited and not paid a fair wage. Their earnings are low and not regular. These jobs are not secure and have no other benefits. Okay, here we discussed earlier that the same thing here also included. Okay, very low wage, there is no regular work, their working condition, very difficult condition, then maybe they exploited in certain occasion, and also their earnings are low and not regular. Okay, these are the condition existing in case of unorganized sector. But then how can we protect these type of workers from this situation or from this type of exploitation? Since the 1990s, it is also common to see a large number of workers losing their jobs in the organized sector. A large number of workers losing their jobs in the organized sector. When? Since 1990s. Okay. These workers are forced to take up jobs in the unorganized sector with low earnings. They lost their what? Job. Which job? Earlier they worked under the organized sector, but now lost that job. On that occasion, they selected job from unorganized sector. There is very low earnings, but they have no other opportunity. That's why they accepted this job. Hence, besides the need for more work, there is also a need for protection and support of the workers in the unorganized sector. Listen. Hence, besides the need for more work, there is also a need for protection and support the workers in the unorganized sector. On that occasion, here is a need. Which need? Yes, government want to protect the workers from unorganized sector. Who are these vulnerable people who need protection? That means who are included in this category? Which category? Unorganized sector. In the rural areas, the unorganized sector mostly comprises of landless agricultural laborers. In rural areas, who are mainly included in this category, the unorganized sector, that is the landless agricultural laborers. Who are included? Landless agricultural laborers. What is the speciality of landless agricultural laborers? സ്വന്തമായി ഭൂമിയില്ലാത്തവർ. Okay. Then landless agricultural laborers. Then small and the marginal farmers, sharecroppers and artisans. That is included weavers, blacksmith, carpenters and goldsmith. Now, who are included in this category? Underline that. Who are included? Landless agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, sharecroppers and artisans. Artisans there is included weavers, blacksmith, carpenter and goldsmith. Blacksmith, they make knife, axe, etc. Then carpenter, furniture making people. Then goldsmith, making jewelry items. Okay. But this category of people included in the artisans. Then nearly 80% of rural households in India are in small and marginal farmer category. Nearly 80% of people included in this category. Which category? Small and marginal farmer category. These farmers need to be supported through adequate facility for timely delivery of seeds, agricultural inputs, credit, storage facilities and marketing outlet. But how can government protect these type of people? Which type of people? Marginal farmer category. If government is ready to provide certain facilities, like what are the facilities? Timely delivery of seeds, then agricultural inputs, credit, storage facility and marketing outlet. What are mainly included? Timely delivery of seeds, agricultural inputs, then credit, storage facility and marketing outlet. Okay, agricultural inputs, we know that there is some fertilizers, then there is irrigation facility, then other processes, there is sowing, removing weeds, okay, that also. Then there is used some simple tools, okay, agricultural tools, that all things are included in this input. Then another thing is the credit, that means bank provide cheaper loan, okay, and also they want to keep these items, that's why they need storage facility, they want to keep their item, and also want to market outlet, there is a transporting facility also, okay, good transportation road, okay. Then in the urban areas, unorganized sector comprises mainly of workers in small scale industry, casual workers in construction, trade and transport, etc., and those who work as street vendors, head loaded workers, garment makers, rag pickers, etc. Listen, firstly we discuss who are included, the vulnerable people, or which category included in the unorganized sector. In case of rural area, there is mainly included the marginal farmers, okay, small and marginal farmers or marginal farmer category, artisans also included. Then at the same time we want to discuss who are included, the unorganized sector people in urban area, that means the town area, okay. There is the unorganized sector comprises mainly of the workers in small scale industry, then trade and transport, then casual workers in construction, etc., and those who work as a street vendors. What do you mean by street vendors? Okay, തെരുവ് കച്ചവടക്കാർ, തലയിൽ ചുമടൊക്കെ ഹെഡ് ലോഡഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പീപ്പിൾ, ഓക്കെ. ദെൻ ഹെഡ് ലോഡ് വർക്കേഴ്സ്, ദെൻ ഗാർമെൻറ്റ് മേക്കേഴ്സ്, okay, cloth making, garment makers, rag pickers. What do you mean by rag pickers? Old things collect ചെയ്യുന്നത്, പഴയ വസ്തുക്കളൊക്കെ കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, that is the rag pickers, etc. Small scale industry also needs government support for procuring raw material and marketing of output. Small scale industry also need government protection for what? To procuring raw materials and also marketing. The casual workers in both rural and urban area need to be protected. The casual workers in both area, that means the rural and urban area, that also need protection from government. Okay, you want to underline this paragraph. We also find that majority of workers from scheduled caste, tribes and backward communities bind themselves in the unorganized sector. Besides getting the irregular and low paid work, these workers also face social discrimination, okay. Then we also find that majority of workers from scheduled caste, tribes and backward communities find themselves in the unorganized sector. SC, ST, OBC and that type of people specially selected the unorganized sector, or they also engaged in the unorganized sector. What is the reason behind it? Because they thought there is existing some social discrimination. Besides getting the irregular and low paid work, these workers also face social discrimination. Protection and support to the unorganized sector workers is thus necessary for both economic and social development. But here government want to protect these type of people. Which type of people? Who are included in the unorganized sector? Because They want some economic protection and also some social protection. That means not only the economic development, at the same time they need social development also. What is the reason behind it? Somebody think about we are engaged in the unorganized sector. That's why here is existing some social discrimination. That's why they want to avoid the social discrimination. At the same time they need some economic development. The government surely want to protect the unorganized people. Is it clear? What are the methods government accepted here, or how can we solve this problem? Which problem? What are the problem existing in the unorganized sector? We want to eradicate or we want to avoid this problem. Government want to protect the unorganized people, especially for their economic and social development. Okay, is it clear? It's so simple. Today we discussed a simple topic, that is the division of sectors as organized and unorganized sector. When you hear this word organized and unorganized sector, you think about there is two category of included in the organized and unorganized sectors. Organized sector speciality, that under the control of the government there is a special provisions for the employer, especially their working time, regular working time, then security of a job, there is a paid leave, gratuity, another medical allowances and also pension, etc. But in case of unorganized sector, there is no job security, there is no regular work, low wage, that is not under the control of the government, there is no rules and regulations, there is no paid leave, there is no sick leave, etc. Okay, these are the main differences. Then lastly we discuss how can we protect, or government how to protect workers in the unorganized sectors. Government how protect these type of people. Here is adopted so many methods, especially in rural and urban areas. Finally we understood one thing, here they need economic and social development. Okay, is it clear? Okay, then we want to discuss more details related to this topic through question answers. Here we already discussed many more matters. I will give some important questions to you, then and also you want to prepare some one word questions, because textbook reading, that is very very important. Every day I told this matter to you. I think no need to explain related to that things. And also here remaining only one point to be continued on next class. Thank you.